in this unforgettable inaugural season of Clemson Gymnastics as the Air Force Academy lands in Littlejohn Coliseum for a Friday night dual meet on the ACC Network Extra. We are so happy to be with you alongside the former Auburn gymnast Toy Garcia. I'm Daniel Gilman. And well, Toy, senior night for the Tigers. Do you still remember yours?
I do. It was a long time ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday. I mean, it's an emotional night for the girls, but it's also very exciting. It's a time for them to reflect on their time at the university and as a gymnast.
Well, just one graduating senior here in year one. We'll see Caitlin de Guzman a little later on as we take a look at the matchup. And, well, Clemson coming off of a second-place finish to the #1 team in the nation in Oklahoma last weekend in Texas, and a real chance to measure up against the Sooners.
They're looking to carry that momentum and energy over from competing against the #1 team in the nation.
On the other side of things, Air Force had a crazy weekend. They hosted their senior night tri-meet on Friday and then went to #11 Denver in a quad meet on Sunday. So head coach Jennifer Green just happy that her Falcons are healthier and ready to roll as we get ready for the vault for Clemson. And I want to take a look at a couple of our key players today for the Air Force Falcons. They have a freshman who is an all-around talent in Maggie Slife, 4-time Mountain West Gymnast of the Week.
Yeah, you know, Air Force is something to talk about. They've battled a lot of injuries and illnesses, but they're coming here and they're going to continue to move forward with the momentum that they got from last week, soak in this ACC atmosphere and show everybody what they have.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about Clemson when we come back. A delay as Volt will come up next. Took the job at Clemson. She said she wanted every meet to be a party. And here we sit in the final home meet of the season, and there's the former Utah State standout and the UCLA All-American at the helm of Clemson. And, well, Toy, you've been here before. This is my first time in Littlejohn for a meet, and it is an unbelievable atmosphere here in year one.
Yes, absolutely palpable. I mean, they've had over 8,000 fans here at every home meet, and it's incredible. Their first year out here, and they're really killing it, showing everybody what they're made of.
8,000 in their first meet of the season, and then a sellout in the next 4 as we sit here ready for the vaults. And leading things off for Clemson will be the redshirt senior out of Tennessee in Rebecca Wells, who comes off of a 9.85 down in Denton, Texas last weekend.
I'm always excited to see Wells. I mean, she is just an absolute rock for Clemson. Never misses a beat, and the team is super confident in every performance that she puts up.
Also scored a 9.9 once this season back at NC State on Feb 17. Ready to take a look at the NQS for the senior leading things off.
A little bit of a delay here. Super important for the girls to stay in their bubble and not let the crowd or any other thing affect them. Looking for a Yurchenko full from Wells. And there it is! A huge Yurchenko layout full and absolutely sticks that landing. What an incredible way for Clemson to start out on vault.
Let's take another look.
Huge vault there. I mean, nearly perfect. I vouch to say that it could be a 10. Daniel, what do you think?
I'll tell you one thing, Coach Smith was targeting 197 as the team has done that just once this season, and there is not a better start to their final home meet than Wells sticking the Yurchenko layout full as Air Force now takes over, and it's a freshman leading the way. Clara Wallace will lead off on all 4 routines as the freshman from Missouri gets us started on the uneven bars.
Mounting from in between the bars. Good major release there. Every athlete is required to have a major release in their bar routine. Looking for handstands to finish right on top of the bar. That one was just a little short. Giant full into a dismount here and sticks that landing. Nicely done. performance for their first gymnast up.
Wallace with a 9-7 last weekend in Denver.
Take another look at her dismount here. Nicely done. Eases right into that landing.
When we talked to Jennifer Green, the head coach for Auburn, she said she wants the most consistent athlete to go first. It just happens to be a freshman, as the score is set to come in from Rebecca Wells. So get ready for a potential eruption, as from a senior to a junior, Eve Jackson from LA will go second here on vault, coming off of a 9.825 last weekend in Texas.
Should see another Yurchenko layout full, and I want to remind our viewers that Yurchenko layout full does not start from a 10-0. Big Yurchenko full. You can see she really tried to get that stick landing, but does take a step back. That'll be a 10th or 2, not a major deduction.
Jackson and Wells get off to a good start, both transfers from Utah State, as we get a wide view.
Take another look here. Good entry onto the table. Nice body shape throughout the layout full, and again, does take that step back.
So the score comes in for Rebecca Wells, and it's a 9-9-0, and a great start for the home Tigers. That'll tie Rebecca Wells' career high as Chelsea Boyer moves on over, another freshman for this Air Force Academy team.
Nice major release there. That is a shaposh from low to high bar. A little bit short on that handstand there. Gearing up for the dismount, double back, sticks that landing, nicely done. A few deductions there on handstands, just minor things. Take another look at her major release there. Big shaposh to an immediate overshoot to the low bar, and then again on her dismount, absolutely sticks that landing. Nicely done.
Bars update from Clara Wallace is a 9.775 to kick things off for Air Force. And of course, we will have 6 gymnasts as Eve Jackson comes in at a 9.775 as well. 5 of the scores will count. So it's so important for that anchor gymnast to bring a big score in, as Molly Arnold, the sophomore from Minnesota, looks to break her career high, 9.925 she's seeking.
Yurchenko, 1.5. Now this will be a 10-0 start. She does take a small hop on that landing, but no other deductions that were super visible. We can take another look here. Nice round up back handspring onto the table. Laid out 1.5 twist and takes a little hop to the side, but that's the only major deduction, or minor deduction rather, that I saw.
So Clemson sitting at 29th in the NQS. But when we talk to Coach Smith, that target number of a 197, she thinks that will get them back into the top 25, and then a road meet at number 10 UCLA next weekend. As we have a bars update, and Chelsea Boyer's 9.80 will push Air Force within 0.1 as Kimberly Kincaid gets started on the uneven bars.
Mounting from behind the high bar. You'll see different gymnasts mounting from different areas. A little bit archy on that handstand there. Misses that major release. So that'll be a 5/10 deduction. Any fall is a 5/10 deduction. She has a certain amount of time to regroup and get back on the apparatus. It's important that she finishes this routine, because although she did fall and did get that 5/10 deduction, this score might count.
The Lode senior on this Falcons team, such a young crew, just made the move, in fact, from the MPSF to the Mountain West Conference in the inaugural season. Meanwhile, we have an update. Molly Arnold's score has come in at a 9.875, so a smooth start on vault for Clemson.
giant pull, a little bit squirrely in that giant pull, and does not complete her dismount, does not get that connection. Tough finish for her.
So that'll put a lot of pressure on the other 5 athletes for Air Force to make sure that they can bump that score.
That's exactly right.
And so back to vault, and a chance for the walk-on in Madison Minner to put up a big number as the local talent from Anderson looks to run.
Yurchenko, top 1.5. Wow, so much power behind that vault. Looks like she actually could have laid that out if she wanted to. Did take a fairly large step forward. Maybe one or two tenths off there. Let's take another look. Excellent entry onto the table. So much height off that table too, and good distance. Again, does take that step forward. Will be a tenth or two.
Halfway through this first rotation, and we are so happy that you've chosen to join us here on this Friday night. You're listening to the former Auburn gymnast Toy Garcia. How important is it to have that post-routine conversation to really review what you did?
It's super important, especially if you're competing on more than one event. You want to get some type of regroup with your coach so you can continue on.
Oh, how about a little rhythm here? Madison Carlisle, who's got family just 2 hours away in Atlanta, who made the trip. She's looking to back up at 9.825 over the weekend.
And Daniel, one thing I just want to say, it's not just about gymnastics. These girls are also here to have fun.
And they want the fans to have fun too, right?
That's exactly right, and that's what the judges are looking for. They want to see these girls having a good time.
Carlisle certainly building up the anticipation. A sophomore from Atlanta. Had a tough routine last weekend at Denver, as you see Madison Minner's score of 9.75 registered. Kimberly Kincaid is still under evaluation. She was the 3rd on uneven bars. Isn't it amazing how quickly the crowd has just embraced this sport?
Nice major release. Another chapache from Air Force. Excellent handstand right on top of the bar. Another good handstand. Gearing up for the dismount. A giant pull into immediate double tuck. Good connection there. Tries to get that stick. Does take a little hop back. Excellent way for the team to regroup after that fall. There is her major chapache into her overshoot connection. And again, her double back dismount. Chest was just a little bit down on that landing, maybe why she had to take a hop back, but nicely done.
You can see the score came in for Kincaid, and that's a forgettable 8.175 that Air Force is hoping to bump out. Of course, their all-around star comes last as the freshman Holman ready to run.
Nicely done. Front handspring, front pike half off. That's another 10-0 start vault. Hard to do. In NCAA, you see a lot of Yurchenko vaults. She's taking a risk by doing a front handspring vault. Take another look. Front handspring, huge height off that table. Front pike half off. Slight step back, but nicely done. Good job from her.
Holman from Raleigh will certainly be first in line to try to get some revenge against the Wolfpack as NC State finished their undefeated ACC season with a couple wins against Clemson. The ACC championship comes March 23rd in Greensboro. As we take a look at the points of emphasis for the bars as Ayla McLean gets ready.
Points of emphasis, this is what the judges are looking for. Handstands right on top of the bar. Anything lower than that will be a deduction. Major releases, every athlete is required to do a major release. And then of course the dismount, looking for those stuck landings.
McKean will be one of 3 all-around gymnasts today for Air Force. Second team all-conference in the bars last season. first all-around meet of the season, but she was the top all-around competitor last season as Maddie Holman's 9.850 comes in, and you can just tell they're keeping each other loose.
I absolutely love that. Those were the best times competing, is just being with your team and having a good time, regardless of what else is happening.
Now we are still waiting for Madison Carlisle's score. She's the one bopping around McKean.
And here she goes, mounting from behind in the middle of the two bars. Nice handstand there. Major release here. It's a Jaeger, piked Jaeger, into an immediate overshoot. Good connection. Moving to the high bar. Nice handstand. Giant pool. Into immediate double tuck dismount. Sticks that landing. Nicely done. A lot of connections in that bar routine. A lot of difficulty there. Connections equal difficulty. And then, of course, that stuck landing. Very little to no deductions on this routine. Eager to see what the score will be. There was her major release into an immediate overshoot to the low bar. And then we'll take another look at this dismount. Double tuck, sees the ground, eases right into it.
And so rounding things out for Clemson will be Kate Bryant, who was originally an exhibition, but Lauren Rutherford suffered an injury in warm-ups, and so the freshman, in just her third meet of the season, a key one.
Nice, Yurchenko, 1.5 twist. And one thing I really want to point out with this gymnast, when we see it in the replay, round up back handspring, she does almost a complete layout, then completes her full twist. Super hard to do. She does it with ease.
Coach Smith highlighted Bryant, said she's excited to see her in the lineup, but Toy, you have to think about the emotions of thinking you're going to be on exhibition and then getting propelled 10 minutes before.
But this is absolutely what these girls practice, and so I know the team was confident in her.
So the final athlete and the most exciting one is Maggie Slife, who has the most awards of any Mountain West gymnast this season.
Nice double release there, back-to-back. That was a chapash into an immediate pack salto. Super hard to do.
See McKean's score comes in, but Air Force needs to bump out that 8.175.
Wow. Stellar performance. By far the most difficult routine we've seen from Air Force. Jam-packed with difficulty. And there we see that connection there, that major release connection, 2 major releases back to back. And then this full twisting double back dismount, and she sticks it. Beautiful routine.
Slife really is a great story. She wants to be a fighter pilot, and Coach Jennifer Green chased her around the whole country to try to get her to commit to Air Force. You can see why she has been the 4-time Mountain West Freshman of the Week in a row, as we will have an exhibition on bars for Air Force, and that's Olivia Rafe, as Clemson sits with a 4.9.175 on vault to get us started.
And these exhibition routines are so important, whether it's the beginning of season, in the middle of season, or toward the end. It gives gymnasts a chance to get that exposure and the practice in a meet-like setting. These scores do not count toward the team score, but super important for these girls to get the exposure.
A reminder that 47.225 will soon bump up once Slife's score eliminates Kincaid's.
Misses that major release. That was a chapash. So again, she'll have a certain amount of time to regroup, chalk up if she needs to, and get back up on the bars.
So there you see the score bump up with Slife's 9.875. So our overall scores are in for rotation 1. Clemson able to keep pace with that 49.175.
She gets it this time into immediate pack salto. Nicely done. Just need to finish this routine and land on her feet on the dismount. Nice handstand there, gearing up for the dismount. You can tell with some accelerated giants, it's a double tuck, and she sticks the landing. That fall in the beginning of her routine did not affect her, and she finishes strong.
So Clemson with their third highest vault score of the season at 49,175. Air Force on uneven bars, a 48,925 as we get set to switch things up, and Clemson will head over to the bars, Air Force to the vault. We will step away and get set for our second rotation here from Little John. Fans continue to have a party on this Friday night.